So, Mom, I hear California has been trying to ban homeschooling all over.
Well, and they've already made it more difficult for homeschooling parents because the way that their laws are written, it doesn't say homeschooling is illegal, but it says that private schools are what's involved. So parents actually have to register themselves as a private school, even if they only have 1 or 2 students.
Which seems like a lot of difficulty in paperwork, I'm guessing, right?
It's more red tape, but obviously for those that want to homeschool, it's something you're willing to do. Now, the problem we're running into is that the education system there really wants to get kids out of homeschooling. So instead of just being a private school, now they want to make a law so that you have to have a teaching certificate in order to teach kids, or it will be illegal. So that's their way of going about banning homeschooling. The problem I have with that is a teaching certificate doesn't mean you teach well, and it doesn't mean that the kids are going to get a better education simply because of a certificate.
Right. And this leads into we need to stand up and fight this legislation that's going to make our lives harder every step of the way. If the people in California, now we don't live in California, but when something appears one place, it can easily spread elsewhere. But you have to fight these things at every step. If they wouldn't have let it get where you had to register as a private school, then it would have been much harder to do this. So for this crazy legislation that people are trying to pass in all areas of our life, stop them. Talk to your legislators.
You've got to be willing to stand up for what you believe in. And I know it can be intimidating for a lot of people. We don't really get a lot of good education on how to read laws or stand up to local governments. But we've got to be willing to learn that and take steps to make sure that our rights are protected as parents, as kids, as citizens of the United States.
Exactly. And they try to make these things more intimidating, more difficult. They write 1,000-page legislation. They try to write this in this horrible language that nobody can understand. I don't think they can understand it. And then they do all these things to make it look like we're the big government, you can't mess with us. But in reality, it's supposed to be a government by the people, for the people. And we are the people.
And really, laws should be so that anyone can understand them. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said all laws should be something that is short enough and easy enough to understand that you can read it while running past it. I wish we could do that with our laws.
So do I.